Hello and welcome to this video where I'm going to be going over some ChatGPT 4 productivity tips and maybe some prompts here and there that you can utilize to help you become more productive. Let's get started right away. So this is something I've done in some previous videos, but I want to point it out here because not only will it give you some good tips, but you can really extract a lot from it by asking further questions as we go along. So you can follow along if you have ChatGPT or ChatGPT 4, and what you can do is plug in your own schedule. Here's something that's kind of similar to mine, give or take. It's not always going to be like this, but I just use it as kind of a skeleton here. So I'm at the gym at 5 a.m. and I start working from home at 7 a.m. to around 3 p.m. Don't always work that late, just, Please give me more ideas for being productive all throughout the day. And I said without burning out, because that's a very important aspect. For me personally, I would work 24 hours a day if I didn't burn out. I haven't figured out a way to not burn out, so if anyone wants to throw a comment down there and let me know, that would be great. Or maybe I'll ask that to ChatGPT after, right? So I'll put that in there, let's hit enter, and I'll be back once this is done. All right, so let's take a look at some of these tips, and we can always, like I said, ask more about it. So we have breaks. Take short breaks throughout the day to give your mind and body a chance to recharge. A common approach is the Pomodoro technique. I've done that many times. It is very good, which involves working for 25 minutes and then taking a 5-minute break. The only thing about that I've noticed that, say if I'm recording videos, you're not always going to get it on that perfect, 25 minutes, you might be recording, you're not just going to stop recording and then come back. So that can be a little iffy sometimes, but for a lot of other things, it is great. Prioritize tasks. Plan your day by creating a to-do list, ranking tasks by priority. This will help you focus on completing high priority tasks first, leading to a more productive day. This is something else I have talked about previously, and I do agree with this because there's the other option where you put all the small, minute, easy things to do and you kind of do them just to build up confidence and courage. But what I found out is that you can do that. Like, it can work, but for me sometimes, and I know a lot of other people, what you'll do is you'll put off last that big important thing that you've been wanting to do for so long. You'll do the other things, you'll get some sense of accomplishment, and then still be like, I don't want to. When you put it first and you have to do that first, I think there's a little bit more pressure on it. Like, it's right there staring you in the face. And eventually, I think that's the ultimately better way of doing that. In other words, I do agree with this. So the most important, biggest thing that you need to do if you're all about marketing and online business, that's going to be that task that maybe you've been putting off, like creating that webinar, running that live webinar, setting up that ad campaign, seeing the money just burn away and, not getting any ROI back. It's painful, but you got to do it sometimes, stuff like that, what you might be holding off on, right? So set boundaries. Establishing clear boundaries between work and personal time is a good one. Staying organized. My office is about as clean as possible. I couldn't agree with that even more. So time management. Allocate specific time slots for tasks, meetings, and breaks to help you stay on track throughout the day. I work from home, so I eat 12 to, 10, 12, 2, 4, 6. So those are kind of my breaks. Obviously, I'm done working after some of those, but I do agree with that as well. That was time management. Hydration and nutrition, that goes hand in hand with what I just talked about. I think I drink around a gallon of water a day. I'd recommend that as well. Mindfulness, incorporate mindfulness practices such as meditation or deep breathing into your day to help manage stress and maintain focus. Something else I want to also go hand in hand with that is I do foam rolling a lot. I do a lot of stretching. I think that can kind of go with some of the meditation and deep breathing as well to help you feel better, especially if you're sitting a lot. Maybe you have some lower back problems, kind of like I do. So I focus on that a lot just to help out. Avoid multitasking. This is all about focusing. If you focus on so many things at once, what I've noticed is that if I'm going to be doing something, I want to do everything incorporated with that specific task and then move on to something else. So like if I'm creating videos, I just want to create all of the videos first. I don't want to create the video, then I don't want to create the thumbnail, then I don't want to write the description, or so on and so forth. You know what I mean? So I just do everything all at once. So all the videos get shot all at once, then I do all the thumbnails, and then the YouTube descriptions. Just as an example, if I was going to be doing something else with something else related, say for like writing articles on a website, I would write the articles, and then I would go back and maybe do the backlinking. Like that would be the next section. So it's really up to how you prioritize it. The more my brain has to switch thinking about different aspects, the faster I get tired. I don't know how else to explain that better, but it's just a little productivity tip I've come up that's worked for me by staying focused on one specific aspect of what I'm going to be doing. Learn to say no. You can't say that enough. Feels like everyone is grabbing for your attention nowadays online just because there's so many social media platforms where people can just reach out and expect you to, do something for them. So the more you say no, the more you kind of avoid a lot of that stuff. You can always get someone to help you out in terms of like customer support, where messages go to them first, and if it's important, then it goes to you. That can help with that. Engage in hobbies. So that's really up to you, aside from work, whatever you want to do. Connecting with others. If you're more of an introvert, you may not want to do that as much. I'd say I'm more of an introvert. I've been an extrovert as well, but you kind of recharge your batteries type of thing, by being alone or isolation sometimes. So that's not always a bad thing, being isolated. Whether it's like the extroverts, they kind of recharge their batteries being with others and socializing. So that's really up to you. And of course, sleep is definitely great. I agree with this. I do not agree with people that say, like, I'll sleep when I'm dead. You need your sleep. I don't care who else is working on 2 hours a day or 2 hours a day of sleep. Eventually it's going to catch up to you, especially as you get older. So I agree with that. So one more thing, these were some great tips. I gave you kind of my perspective of this because I am very big on focus, keeping things simple, doing one thing at a time, prioritizing, taking breaks, being nourished, and all that other fun stuff. But if there's something here that you need more help with, what we can do is kind of just go into this. So let's pick one of these. Yeah, so I just put an example here. Let's say I'm just going to be creating videos all day. How can I prioritize my tasks when it comes to filming, editing, creating thumbnails, YouTube descriptions, and so on and so forth? So we just want a little bit more perspective. I kind of already gave you that one, so it's pretty easy to do. Sometimes you might write the description first and the title. Sometimes you might create the video, but we can always see what it has to say. I will be back in a few seconds. All right, so let's take a look at what it has here. So pretty much content planning and scripting and pre-production. So planning is more about like figuring out the topics and videos you want to create videos for, obviously. And what I do personally for this is just I find very long list of videos that I need to create. So I never have to be like, what am I doing next? There's always something that's kind of on deck, and then on deck. Like there's just probably a list of 20 to 40 videos or so I could do. So I always have that. That's something I recommend if you're doing, say, videos. If you're doing articles, you can do the same thing. Maybe if you're going to be creating ad campaigns, you can do the same thing. Pre-production is pretty simple for me, especially when I'm recording my computer. And then this is the part where I would say filming. So if you're doing 8 videos, I would just film all of those. And usually the editing goes with it, right? In terms of like reducing some of the mess ups. I mess up all the time in my videos. Maybe you don't realize it because I edit it out, but it doesn't take too long because it's not like I'm messing up every single sentence. So I would say the filming and editing go hand in hand. It's like 1 and then 2, it's done. But I would just do all the videos here. And then what I would do is, like, say if I created 8 and edited 8, I'd be done with that. So that's done. Now I move on to this section. Now I do the 8 thumbnails, right? And then of course you go to upload it, and then you do the descriptions, you can schedule it, and so on and so forth. There's the uploading and scheduling. So like that obviously goes together. When you upload it, you put in your description, your title, your tags, your thumbnail, and of course that's when you can schedule it, and so on and so forth. And if you have promotion and engagement, you can do that as well. Maybe sending an email to your newsletter, to your subscribers. Maybe you're posting it on social media, Quora, Reddit, whatever it's going to be, right? So overall, those are some really good tips when it comes to productivity using ChatGPT 4. I would say the biggest thing here is its ability to understand that I'm not going to be here at this time. I will start working here. I will end here. And I need some more ideas about what I can do within that time frame. If you really wanted to get specific, you can really talk about how you can do it hour by hour and give recommendations that way. That's where you really get into the specifics. But overall, obviously you can do that if you want. Please give me more ideas for being productive through every single hour of the day from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., without burning out, something like that, right? So I hope you got some value out of this video. There's plenty of tips that not only ChatGPT 4 gave you, but also me, because I utilize a lot of these and they do work very well. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. My name is James. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.